Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
It's the After the Show podcast, precious.
We don't care, we're about to swear on the air. It's the After the Show, so tune in if you dare. KVJ, get risque every single day. It's uncensored. We can say what we want to say.
Yeah, hello. Welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Oh, yeah. Good to have you all here today.
Man, it's good to be here.
Mm-hmm. Just watching that video of Suits skipping.
Isn't it fun?
It's pretty amazing, yeah.
Oh, bless his heart.
Yeah.
I think he started to get better because he kind of went first, and we were like, whoa, what is that? And then he watched all of us do it, and he did get better, but we're not going to use that video.
Yeah,
We used the original one where he looked like he was skipping extra bad.
It's one of those things where you don't do it that often, and I was wondering, I'm like, okay, I don't know if I can skip. And until you do it, you're like, okay, hopefully that muscle memory comes back and I'm able to skip.
Some of these Johnny-come-latelys on social media getting on my ass about how I skipped. I was trying to go up to show my ups on that. I was legit skipping.
You're a bouncy girl. You got a lot of height on your skip.
Oh, Jaybird, so fucking extra. Yeah, I'm extra. Come get some.
You do have an extra skip.
Come get some.
Yeah. That's just one of the videos that we have got out there that you can check out. A lot of things posted up on our YouTube page, Facebook, all that kind of good stuff.
That squirrel battle rap no one's looking forward to seeing is coming up soon, too. By the end of this week, Kev.
Okay, you just got your squirrel furry costume in?
I did. Suits is our squirrel, and he's ready to go today. Big shoot today with our
Was the... I'm just kind of curious, did you check that costume? Like, is the butthole cut out of it?
And does Suits know when he puts it on, you're going to fuck him?
That's absolutely out of line. It's just an innocent squirrel video.
Oh, whatever.
This is not, it's not conducive for porking, to be quite honest with you. The tail is,
I feel like you'll find a way.
I paid extra money because the tail inflates. It's
Cushion for the pushing, baby.
Fuck this, man. People think I'm so weird because of you.
It's because of Virginia.
Yes.
People think I'm a witch because of you.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
People were taking bets in the chat room as to whether or not I'll be here tomorrow. Apparently, because of my finger. I don't know why.
I feel
Finger would take me out.
Spidergate.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of gotten better through the show.
Yeah, it doesn't, I don't feel like it feels any worse.
Let's see it.
Because it's only the size of 4 knuckles now.
Yeah, it was swollen. I'm kind of monitoring it, just to see.
Yeah, and that light looks pretty awful.
Do this.
Okay, and then what helps is maybe the other hand. So if you didn't check out the regular show and I did this to start off, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not any expert, but I think it was a spider bite. It was in the middle of the night, not last night, but the night before that I felt it. I'm like, I thought it was just a mosquito bite. And then I'm like, wow, it's really not acting like a mosquito bite.
Your finger looks more pink than it did when you first showed us.
Yeah, I actually want to make a retraction. Now that I see it in this light, it looks pretty alarming.
It's getting more pink, just so you know.
Yeah.
I got an eye for pink.
The only thing is that, it depends on how long it would take. I know I did a project like last week, and just with the added hours and everything, it took like an hour, and I really almost didn't have a show. So if this were a long to-do, then, yeah, they may be right. Maybe I am out tomorrow. I don't know. We'll
Spider
see.
Kev.
Spider
Yeah.
Kev.
Let's hope he doesn't call in dead.
Yeah.
Do you call in dead?
No, you don't.
I think your wife calls.
You don't.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Could you imagine if Kevin died from the spider bite?
I was just trying to do a joke. You have to take it to that next depressing level.
Where there's really no comment you can make.
Yeah, there's no ha-ha at that point. Yeah, it fucking sucked if Kevin didn't come to work because he's spider dead.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah, look at all those laughs.
All right, well, thank you guys for listening, and there you go. We'll see you tomorrow. All right, maybe.
My gosh. You go went too far, Sinicky.
I'm just working it out over here.
Just likes to make it uncomfortable for everybody.
She does.
Yeah. Somebody said, is your finger hot? If so, it's infected and will need antibiotics.
It's definitely infected.
We don't need to know the
Yeah.
temperature.
I don't need to touch
It's
it.
seeping, y'all.
It's pink. It's hot.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'll look into it. I might do it. Yeah, the only thing is just, I hate that because it's like.
You can't miss this. You won't miss this show.
Well, the only thing is there's like physically being there and then being prepared to be there. Like I could come in here and not have anything to talk about, which to me is worse than, not being there. So that's the question. It's like you got to prep for what you do. Otherwise, you just sit here and be like, so how you doing? I don't know. How you doing?
I can do my best to get you set up. Have you ever been to MD Now before?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah,
so you're in the
close
computer.
To my house, yeah.
You're in the computer. That's good. That'll save you time.
Yeah. Somebody said, take your wedding ring off, spray your finger with Windex, it'll slide right off. Yeah, I'd have to do it because I did. Typically, my wedding ring will pop right off, and it's
too swollen.
It's a juggernaut.
It's
It's
making my stomach turn.
Yeah. Well, don't look at it. Turn your eyes.
Poor fingers had enough.
Yeah. So I don't know that a little Windex will get that thing slid off.
You let me know. I can reach out to them and try to get it done as quick as possible.
She's probably going to offer you 4 more times, and you're going to probably ignore them 4 more times.
Yeah,
But
I'll
she
see.
gets you an appointment.
I might. I feel like it's about the same as where it was earlier, and so I'll see.
He ain't going to no doctor. He's a cowboy at heart.
I'll see. Yeah,
Kevin Cowboy Ralston.
Yeah.
At least put some Neosporin on it or some kind of antibacterial then for the infection.
I'd lean more Neosporin than Windex.
Yeah, that seems to be. Yeah.
I'm no doctor.
Yeah.
I know you're translucent, but we don't need Windex to see through your finger.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, people are saying take the ring off, but yeah, I just don't. I'll try it later, but I'm not sure it will.
But here's the thing: Virginia can make an appointment for you, set the whole thing up for you.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. All right.
Fuck you. You know who I'm not making an appointment for? You could be knocking on death's door, bitch. Die.
Don't believe it for a second. You're tough on the outside, a fucking heart of gold on the end.
The thing is wondering like what kind of spider it was.
Yes.
Does anybody? Is there anybody who's good enough with it that can see the bite and be like, oh, that came from a?
I wouldn't trust that with the internet.
No, I know, but if there's somebody that is good, I'm just asking, is there somebody that is good enough? Do they have that kind of person where they can eyeball a bite and be like,
Could you do a teleconference? Because doctors' offices are doing that, including MD Now.
That's good.
They can do a teleconference with you, and maybe I can ask them if any of the doctors specialize in bug bites.
Yeah.
And do a teleconference.
I'm feeling like, just somebody looking at it and just really quickly saying, just go get some Neosporin and put that on there and keep doing that. Because, I went online and they're saying, put ice on it. I've iced it down several times now and, put some heat on it. I've done all that kind of good stuff. So everything I can find out from the internet, I've done.
Real man puts frozen steakums on his bites.
I don't have frozen steakums.
All right.
You almost said butt.
No, I did not. I did not.
Angie said, are there definitely 2 bite marks? Yeah, I think so. That's where it started to go from, wow, that's a crazy mosquito bite, to when I looked it up, I'm like, well, it looks like I got 2 little dots there. And then that's when I'm like, wait. And I looked up spider bites, and I'm like, yeah, I think that's what it is.
What would freak you out more? Because if it was a spider bite or you found out it was a roach bite and it got infected from a roach, what would...
Do roaches bite like that?
The roaches do bite. I don't know if they can bite to the point where you get infected, but I'm just saying, you go to the doctor, they go, Ralston, you've got a cockroach bite here. Are you more bummed out about the roach or the spider?
Spider, because spiders are venomous, and I think the question is whether or not they can break the skin. I don't think there's any venomous roaches, is there?
Well, I'm just saying for the sake of the game.
It's a dumb game.
Well, I'm telling you the answer to the game, and I'm like, that's the rationale.
Kevin, just stop playing.
Well,
I gave you my answer.
Pretend like he's not
I
here.
gave you my answer and the reason. Like, well, that's not. No.
I do believe roaches can bite you, though. Now, as far as how deep the bite goes, I'll Google it.
Yeah.
Can you do that after the podcast?
Why don't you zip it?
Yeah. Somebody said, Kev, you have to take your extremities seriously. I do. Trust me. I take it seriously.
Oh,
it's just, how to handle it.
If that was his dong, you'd be in the MD now.
You'd like it at first because you're like, wow, it's growing. It's all big and swollen. This is cool. Until it starts to like hurt.
Damn, I want a spider bite now.
You putting like, what do spiders eat? Can you put spider food on your dog?
I think spiders eat little insects and shit, right?
All right, well, let's put a bunch of bugs on your dong.
Yeah, I'm all caught up in can roaches bite. Oh shit, roaches can bite, and look at the bite marks on that arm.
Wow. That's crazy.
Look at that. That's gnarly.
Yeah, but just don't forget, this is the internet.
Yeah, but no, I'm sure
No,
they can bite.
That's from
I still pick spider just because of the venom angle.
realroaches.org.
But I'm not thrilled about a roach.
I would be more bummed out if a roach bit me and I had this leaking wound.
Sack.
I couldn't do it.
What if he
man.
bit you and left eggs under your skin?
Well, that's what I would be thinking. That's what that would freak me out more.
Oh.
Michael said too. He said, "Could it be a red ant bite?" And yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, that's why. And I've had a red ant bite that looked that bad. I didn't do anything for the red ant bite, and it was, it was good. That's why. I'm like, yeah, it looks about the same as when I got a red ant bite.
Have you ever fallen asleep in a red ant pile?
Never.
Oh my gosh.
Try not to lay down.
What the hell's the matter with you?
We won't go into that, but let's just say
Oh, look, a dirt pillow.
I don't talk that way. It hurt. Let's just say that.
You're lucky they didn't get in your ear.
No shit.
Could you imagine a red ant bite on your ear on the inside?
Ugh.
It's crazy.
Well, they have those stories where people they'll swim in a lake or swim in a canal, and one of those weird, like microscopic worm thingies will go into your eardrum, and then it'll start to grow.
Yeah,
Oh,
that stuff's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's
where it
why
gets
you don't
nuts.
swim in a lake.
I used to swim in canals all the time. What the shit was wrong with me?
I think we did in the 80s.
Young man's game.
Yeah, we didn't know any better, and our parents didn't tell us any better.
Well, think about canal. You've got moccasins. You've got gators. You've got weird worms.
We had a canal behind our house, and our neighbors at one point would go gigging frogs. They would go at night with these flashlights, and they would stab these frogs with these big spears, and they'd be standing in like waist-high water. I'm like, oh my gosh, that freaks me out.
Yeah, I get it. All it took for me was to see water moccasins in Jonathan Dickinson. My dad took me out there one time and to see how many were in that thing. And then I asked him, I go, are those in canals too? He's like, oh, yeah. What the fuck you letting me in there? Yeah.
Why you let me go in a canal?
He's all Pennsylvania. He don't sweat no moccasin.
Really?
Yeah, he's actually kind of a tough dude.
Wow.
What happened to you?
I think I'm my mother's kid.
I'm going to take him and turn him into a pussy.
Your mom won.
Definitely.
Now I feel like I have spiders all over
I
me.
know.
So thanks, Kevin.
Yeah. Well,
Every time I feel anything on my leg, I'm like, spider.
that's the way I was all last night in bed. Any kind of like little feeling like spider.
Spider.
And
I was
he's
so
back.
freaked out. Like I didn't almost. Yeah. I mean, I had nowhere else to really lay, but I
He
was
wants
like,
to finish the job.
Can you get impetigo from that too?
I don't even really know what that is.
It's a. Do I have to Google that too?
Probably because I don't know what it is. And your question.
Mags got that
it's
from
a-
sitting on something. It was like a little rash.
It's a rash. It's highly contagious, and I'm wondering if you get a bite and if it gets infected, if it can turn into that. People in Lake Park, we led the league in impetigo in Lake Park. I'm just wondering.
That sounds like an unofficial stat.
It just reminds me of it a little bit.
Lake Park numbers for Impetigo were through the roof, Kevin.
Okay.
From 83 to 88, yeah, they were, bruh.
A couple of emails came in here. One from Cheryl said, hey, listen to the show this morning. I wanted to share an idea with you. Over the weekend, my boyfriend expressed that he missed going to the movies. Well, since we can't go to the movies, I brought the movies to him.
Aw.
I set up chairs and our projector in the living room. We made popcorn and had beer and M&Ms, just like the movies. We transferred a movie to a thumb drive, shut off all the lights, and watched Enter the Dragon. It was so much fun, and we're doing it again this weekend. That's a cool idea.
Good ideas, right?
And that is a good movie, too. I think I might have to watch that again. It's a Bruce Lee movie, but Virginia, and you would hate it. So, I'm not going to, but it was Bruce Lee in his prime, the movie that kind of made him. And, you know, a lot of dudes especially want to be like kung fu badasses. And it was the one where you watch, like, I want to be Bruce because he's such a badass. He's so fast, like, he's just whooping people's asses. And you're just like, I want to be that guy. It's a great movie. One of the best kung fu fight scenes, I believe, of all time. Though I've only seen one kung fu movie.
It's the only one.
It's the only one, but it's still the best. Somebody said, Kevin, did you ever get to see on Apple TV? No, I have not yet. There are a couple shows that you have been dragging around, Virginia, that you've been talking about. And Caesar had sent this in. Yeah, and, you know, for me, you had sent me this a while ago, and I talked to my trainer who's in on all that kind of stuff and really loves those kind of movies, and he's like, it's pretty stupid. Don't watch it.
What?
And
See,
yeah.
Spell it S-E-E?
S-E-E. It's got Aquaman in it. You know, that dude.
Yeah.
And so
Jason Momoa?
Yeah, I like him, but yeah, my trainer and I usually seem to like the same stuff, and he's like, don't waste your time on it. So I don't know that I'm going to run to it. I got a lot of other stuff that I want to see. You were talking about
The Pharmacist.
Pharmacist. There was one you mentioned today, the Little Fires or whatever it is.
That's on Hulu.
Yeah, and the morning show. Those are all
Yeah.
that I think are probably I'm going to get to before C. And I still got a ton of stuff. I'm actually not getting through stuff that quickly.
I hear
Also,
ya.
do Bad Grandpa .5. It was fascinating.
Yeah.
I don't see you doing that one.
Yeah,
I say you're locked into the drama right now. You like those darker drama shows. I feel like.
do a little bit of both. I watched a couple episodes. I really haven't. I got through Outer Banks. I love that. Even though, like I said, you can pick that apart and it's not that good, but I loved it.
It just sucked me in.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see where they pick up Outer Banks in the next season.
Would I like Outer
Whatever that
Banks?
might be.
Both of you, you both know me.
I think you would.
Okay, I'll give it a try.
Yeah, you might. I could see you coming in and be like, that was terrible, too. So I'm not sure. I really don't know that I recommend it for a lot of people because, trust me, I could right now probably write out about 20 massive plot holes in the whole thing. You're going to watch a lot of parts and be like, oh, come on.
I'll text you. I'll pause it and text you, Kev. What the fuck?
You'll
is
be
this,
sending
man?
me 30 texts because there's a lot of like, come on, this would never happen. Come on.
Mags was really into it, and then that's why I got into it. So she and I kind of were into it together. So that might be tainting me a little bit too.
Anytime Denny's recommends a movie for me to watch and it's not good, I will pause the movie, screenshot it, and go, Denny's, what the fuck, man? Seriously, dude? And then I'll complain about the plot hole.
I'm not recommending it to anyone, but if you did watch it and like it, then I'll talk Outer Banks with you. V, have you tried Working Moms on Netflix?
I did. So my girlfriend wanted me to watch it, and I got into it a little bit. I started watching it over the weekend. I got one episode in. It's good. It's good. I just don't know if it's what I need.
I get it.
I want something that's going to let me forget where I am and suck me in. Outer Banks did that. The Pharmacist did that.
There's times where there's certain shows that are really good, but it's not what you need, and then you're going, you know what, screw it, I'll just watch like a bake-off on the Food Network. That's what I need right now.
Maybe Working Moms was just too real. It's like, okay, I'm already in this. I'm already dealing with my kids. I don't want to watch a show about some girl dealing with her kids.
Yeah.
It was too real for me, maybe.
It sounds awful.
You would hate it.
Yeah, it sounds awful.
Yeah, it's totally a chick thing.
Well, I like chick stuff.
Not this. It's not your bag.
Let me see here. Got also two for Denny's and Bird. You should check out Absurd Planet on Netflix. High or not, it's pretty funny. Nature show. Remember that viral video of somebody doing voiceovers on animals? Well, this is pretty much an educational show with the premise behind it narrated by Mother Nature herself. Oh, it's interesting.
I love watching nature shows.
I like those nature shows narrated by Snoop Dogg. Those are awesome.
If you ever want to put something on that just you don't have to worry about anything, and it's got great visuals, Planet Earth. It's got the best kind of camera quality you can get on all of these animals, and it's stuff that you normally wouldn't see because they're out in these remote areas. It's fascinating. If you like animals and you like that kind of stuff.
Better than duck screwing? I know you like that.
I really don't like duck screw. In fact, I've found that many animal sex, a lot of that is kind of violent and awful. It's really tough to watch. Me and Denny's are still reeling about those birds we saw a week ago.
Yeah, I know.
You asked me about it. Stop bringing it up. I'm trying to get away from that topic. So people,
she just lays out the welcome mat and he just runs right over it.
oh, people think I'm just the fucking weirdest person because of Virginia.
Deanna sent one about soup. She said, I wrote in about the soup place near my house. It's called the Soupery, and yes, it is in Lake Worth near Jogging Lantana, and they give you samples in little disposable plastic cups.
Yes, I got a lot of people telling me about that. There's more soup places here than you think. It ain't just Sweet Tomatoes, Virginia.
You love a soup place.
I love soups that have a lot of variety. I get that there's a lot of places that have 2 to 3 soups. This ain't what we're trying to do here.
Panda reminded me of that Dave's Last Resort in Lake Worth. They have a mean soup.
They have outstanding honey mustard. I always forget to bring them up for their honey mustard game, but they are very good.
Get the honey mustard on with the soup.
They have to make that in-house. There's no way it's really good. It's really good.
Got an email here from Jacqueline. She said, I've always wondered, how exactly does the dump button work? How does the system know which word to dump, or is the whole sentence dumped? Fill us in. Thanks for keeping the show rolling.
It's a great question.
It is a really great question. Yeah, what it is what you hear when we're on the radio. Anything that we say typically is 8 seconds behind. So it's like, or we've already said it 8 seconds ago. So you guys are behind by 8 seconds. And what that does, that gives a little bit of a cushion. So if I hit the dump button, it removes 4 seconds of audio. So, I can be 2 seconds late to a swear word and it'll still take out that swear word because it takes out 4 seconds of audio.
It'll even give you a little buffer around that word so you're good. But to people listening on the radio, it's going to sound like it was just the audio was chopped.
Yeah, what did I miss? Yeah,
right.
What did I miss?
And you're not going to know that it was a curse word because he gets the whole thing. Plus, he gets a little bit before and then a little bit after it.
But if you're online, you get to hear it all.
Yes, you do get to hear everything. And so I have 2 chances to hit that. So I've got basically a double punch. So I can hit it once, remove 4 seconds. I can hit it again and take out another 4. That's why earlier when we were reading the script and Jaybird said stain on my coochie or my cooch or whatever it was, stain on my cooch.
I read it quick. It was couch and I thought it said cooch and I thought it was.
He said stain on my cooch. I'm like, okay, that might be problematic. So I took that out and then Virginia's like, oh my gosh, you said cooch.
Yeah, the veteran
and
over here.
Then I dumped that out and that's why I had to be like, guys, no more because we have nothing left. And if you say cooch, then that is going to be out over the radio and they could play that back and be like, yeah, we're going to give you guys a little fine for that one.
Because the machine has to then catch back up to itself. So then that means you hit it twice, you took the first 4 out, then you took the second 4 seconds out, and now what everybody is hearing is in live real time.
But
so there's no more dump.
You got to be quick, though, because if you wait too long, it could get out.
Yeah, you've got, like I said, depending upon how long it takes for you to say the swear word, but yeah, you've got, and it takes about a second to be like, should I dump that? Probably, boom.
And then you're always good. You always catch it. But then it has to reset itself, and that takes like another hour.
Mm-hmm.
But what if somebody does something like they go on a rant, like motherfucking titty sucking 2-ball bitch? Like they keep going going.
If you, like I said, we'll have that with callers sometimes where you do the 1, the 2, and you'd have to turn the mic off. You'd have to be like, your mic is off, you're cut off. If it's a caller, I'll let them know too. If somebody swears and they don't mean to, I'd be like, hey, you gotta watch it. And they say it again and be like, sorry, I gotta take you out. It could be a great story. And I'm like, I gotta take you out because if you throw a curse word out, then I can't get it.
Am I the only one that can almost hear someone? There's a certain voice, tone, and just I don't know.
Gumption.
I can hear them. I go, this
I'm
son
not
of a bitch is gonna
often
swear.
I'm not often surprised by the swear words. I'm like, yep, thought so.
Yeah, you can hear it bubbling up.
The passion combined with the I don't give a.
Well, Denny's even says it. He goes, there'll be somebody that calls in because Denny's is the first line of defense because they have a great story. I tell them they can't swear because they're all passionate, and then after I tell them they can't swear, they're still dropping, motherfucker. He's like, I can't put you on, man. It's too much.
Mm-hmm. And I think there are some more sophisticated systems because I've heard shows that I thought were on live and it would be bleeped out, the word. And they may have a delay where they can see, they may be a little bit further behind. Maybe, I know some of them I think are as much as like 40 seconds.
Okay.
And so they may be behind and they have somebody watching. And if there's a curse word, they can kind of pause it, boom, boom, boom. And then, take that piece and bleep it so you have the constant thread and it just bleeps out the words. Now, I think even for them, if they had somebody that, like you said, was just a constant string of profanities, because somebody couldn't keep up with the editing.
Right.
They'd be like, all right, they've got to stop it because, we're running out of time too.
It's dangerous, too, to put that in the hands of anybody other than you. Because what if Denny's is like grabbing a cup of coffee, or if somebody comes in there and talks to him and he doesn't hear it?
You'd have to have a dedicated person. And these are really big market stations where there would be a lot of money. And I'm sure they just have a dedicated person they pay to sit there, and it's worthwhile for them to do it that way.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Which still to me is kind of silly, and I really kind of hope we get to one of these days. And, not that I encourage people to be swearing and doing vulgar stuff on broadcast airways, but, to me, it's like, our show would never be worse than what this is, and let people make choices for themselves. I still think it's kind of silly.
For sure. Since I gave my number out on via text, and people have been texting me, I get some people that get on my ass about swearing. They go, "You just swear too much in the podcast. It's your mom and Ann would be so disgusted." I'm like, no, they really wouldn't, honestly, because they taught me how to swear, to be quite honest with you.
Get off my cooch.
Yeah, step off.
Yeah, but then,
Some people really are against swearing, and I get it. I'm trying to curb it down. But what can I say?
Yeah, I mean, we gotta be ourselves and do the kind of show that we do, and I think the more natural we can be, the better. And then you just have to decide, be like, hey, these animals in their natural habitat may not be my taste, especially if I have kids that are with me, and that would be the choice that you got to make. But there would be hopefully children's programming or something like that you could find that you could listen to.
Children's programming on the radio is awful.
Fuck that.
Oh my gosh, that's part of the reason why we had to get Rocco his own phone. I couldn't take it anymore.
A lot of times, I swear to try to make you laugh. So again, it's Virginia's fault.
Let me see. Talking about swearing on the radio, the king of doing it, Howard Stern, he had some interesting stuff to say. He kind of went off every now and then. He pops up and makes some news, and he knows how to get a headline.
He does, for sure.
Yeah. The headline, it's in the Sun Sentinel. It says, Howard Stern to Trump supporters, he hates you and so do I. And you're like, oh, okay. All right, that's kind of fascinating. But what he says, I read this article about it, and it's interesting his take, because keep in mind, they were friends, and Donald Trump would go on Stern's show a lot. They're both Palm Beachers. They got the same thing, so they, over there, it's that circle, and they kind of, I think, run in that circle. A lot of Palm Beachers don't leave, and, Trump's got the Mar-a-Lago Club, and I think a lot of Palm Beachers do hang out there, and there's other clubs that are there, and I think Stern has been there many times and still would. And, he knew Donald at a different level. And he was saying, one thing about Donald Trump is he loves celebrities. He loves the fame of it. And he loves to be in the mix. And the interesting thing that he was talking about with this is Howard had said on his show, he said the oddity in all this is the people that Trump despises most love him the most. He said the people who are voting for Trump, for the most part, he wouldn't even let them in an effing hotel. He'd be disgusted by them. Go to Mar-a-Lago and see if there's any of those people who look like you. I'm talking to you in the audience. He said the people that he likes, he loves celebrities. And here's the thing that's the craziest thing about it. It's the celebrities that have turned on him. And he said he's got to feel like he's an episode of The Twilight Zone right now. Because the people who he wants the love from the most are the people now who hate him the most. And at least when I hung out with him, the kind of people that he would rag on and all that kind of stuff are the people who love him the most.
Interesting.
Was what he was saying. And this is, taking if it's true, I mean, this is somebody who maybe is a friend or a former friend.
Well, you have to remember, too, people change, especially if you have to change, which, maybe that's what happened. Maybe Trump had to change. Mm-hmm. And he's not hanging out with guys like Stern anymore because he had to change.
I've heard Stern, though, that's the main or the major critique about Howard Stern is they call him Hampton Howie now, and they think that
he's changed.
This is the complaint that I get from the diehard people that love Stern. His show's changed. All he talks about is Hollywood stuff, celebrity stuff. When he was on America's Got Talent, he talked about that a lot, and people didn't want want to hear it. Now those are his diehard that we're used to.
Yeah, he used to really. I remember when I listened to his show a lot when I was in New York in the '90s mainly. He was kind of like the outsider guy. He was the one. Remember how hard he'd go at celebrities?
He would go
Rose
after.
Hills and the Chevy Chase and stuff like that. And so he was like, "Hey, Hollywood hates me." And then it did start to feel weird when all of a sudden now he is in the bubble. He's in the circle, and now he made good with the Chevy Chases and all those people that he used to really. You couldn't believe what he was saying about some of those people.
Because there was a saga with Chevy Chase, and it was up on YouTube. I don't know if it is anymore, but he called Chevy Chase's house live on the air, and Chevy Chase is talking, and then Chevy Chase's wife gets on the phone and starts defending Chevy on the air, and then Chevy it was not looking good for Chevy. I mean, Howard Stern was relentless on going after Chase.
Yeah.
They sent out Stuttering John to fuck with him. I mean, he did not give up. I've heard Stern say he feels bad about some of the stuff he did to some of the celebrities.
But that's where he kind of got his diehards. And like you're saying, I haven't listened to him for a while, but
he ain't doing that shit no more.
Yeah, and it's kind of
I
the
haven't
flip-flop
listened either.
version of it. But what he says is, I think it would be extremely patriotic for Donald to say, I'm in over my head and I don't want to be president anymore. He said, I found all this kind of stuff out when I thought I was going to run for governor in 1994. He said that I feel probably I was like what Trump was. I like the idea of campaigning for office, but I'm not cut out to run an office or the government, and I don't think that Trump is either. And he said it'd be so patriotic that I'd hug him and then I'd go back to Mar-a-Lago and have a meal with him and feel good about him because it would be such an easy thing to do. So that was his take on it.
Well, it's making the headlines.
It is, yeah. So he's saying that if only Trump supporters knew that he hated the likes of you. So, but again, it's coming from a dude that, a lot of those people have really swung hard to the left. And so this might be a part of his little tactics, but he did get a little publicity over it.
I'm sure when that audio is released on Twitter, it's going to go smooth. I'm sure there's not going to be no fight going on.
Let me see here. Yeah, some people had said too, and part of it, when Stern was coming up through the ranks and was doing all the edgy stuff that he did, one, there was no other place like a Sirius XM where you could get that kind of stuff, and then two, with lawsuits, things have changed. I know for us, there's still a lot of stuff I would like to do that's edgy, but if we went back and did some of the stuff that we even used to do in the early 2000s, we would not be in radio. We would get
sued.
We would get sued
and
like
removed.
crazy. And yeah, it's a different, these lawsuits have really changed the industry more than anything else, too.
And there's a lot of pranky stuff on YouTube, and it's not like I'm like, shedding so much light on something you guys don't know, but most of that's fake. It has to be. If not, you would get your balls sued. You wouldn't have. You just couldn't do it.
Well, the problem, if people don't know the rules, at least, and it differs from states. And so in Florida, we have some of the strictest laws when it comes to putting people on the radio. And what you're talking about, if we want to put somebody on, we have to get their. We have to be like, hey, you're getting ready to go on the radio. Do you know that? And most people, if you're going on there to make them look bad, most people are like, I'm not going on. No.
Right.
And you can't do prank calls. You can't call somebody up and prank them without them knowing. We took some liberties with our own family and things like that. Be like, they're not going to sue us.
That's what was great about Ann
and
my mom
right.
and people in my family. Because
all you'd have to do is go buy them lunch.
They're not going to sue us. Although they might try to sue just Kevin. No, but you're completely right. You can't do that. I know we've done some phone calls before that, we took some chances.
And
we could have gotten in trouble.
Well,
totally.
And the fines are ridiculous now. I think it's about $350,000.
Whoa.
If somebody calls you on it. And some of the stuff that we did, the fines have gotten to be more. And we're like, I couldn't pay it. So I'd just be like, all right,
well,
I'm done.
I'm glad you bring that up because sometimes people go, oh, man, it's so lame. Don't do stunts anymore. Don't do that crazy shit anymore. And for all the reasons you're saying, I'm scared to go out and do some of that shit now because they would sue. They would absolutely sue us now.
They would sue, and you can do like the video, but it's a weird rule. Like even on the videos, we can't do audio if we have their voice and it's on the video, and then you have to blur faces and you have to get permissions and. all that kind of stuff. So it's a very litigious world. So, yeah, there's a lot of really edgy stuff that I would love to do. I'm glad that we had time where we could get away with some of that stuff and we were able to do it. But it's not necessarily,
back
thing
in
about,
my day.
Yeah, it's not like we're all pussies now or we don't want to be edgy. It's just that
We don't want to be fired and sued.
it wouldn't last long if we went with the same cavalier approach.
We'll just fucking do it anyway. Okay, I'll get fired.
Yeah, we'd be out of here in a month.
We've been fired for way less.
Yeah. Yeah, people just don't put up anymore.
I say it all the time. Unfortunately, you're just going to have to fall in love with our personalities.
Yeah. So it's a fact. So we're always trying to find something different to do.
The other thing too is, I mean, that's before COVID. I would be so not freaked out. I would be just nervous to try to mess with somebody doing anything out in public that's not my friend or family.
Right.
I'm afraid that they're gonna. What the fuck's this guy doing? Fuck you.
Yeah.
Sean asked in the YouTube chat room, he said, would you guys ever go back to Wild if the opportunity was ever there? I think with Wild, a couple things, with Wild is that I think we're kind of aging out of it. And so to me, we were there. I was 25.
We were both 25 when we
25.
started.
We took it and it kind of fit. Here we are 21 years later in this
You
market.
old?
Yeah, just, so that feels like a weird fit. Plus, the radio signal that WRMF has, that's why we wanted to be on this signal forever because we cover, to some extent in Vero all the way down through Miami into the Keys. And so, that's the coverage area that we wanted to have. And so Wild, we couldn't get Wild in our studios in West Palm Beach. It's really a Treasure Coast station. And so, that was the tough thing. But
and now now we're not allowed to get Wild in our own parking lot here.
Yeah. But it feels like it's kind of a going backwards kind of thing. So to me, I think the future honestly is digital and being able to do like what we're doing with podcasts and YouTube channels and stuff like that, where the show, what you're listening to right now would be more the style and the future of the show. I think if we go anywhere, this is where we go.
I just know a lot of people, they listen to our show not in real time. They'll listen to
on
it
demand
a week and a half later.
Yeah.
I'm 2 weeks behind, but I'm catching up now. And I feel like that's the majority of our audience.
Well, that's how people live their lives, too. I mean, even when it comes to television programming, radio programming and podcasts aren't any different. People want it when they want it, and podcasts affords you that luxury.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
It's an on-demand world, baby.
Yeah, I think for us, at least in this show, that's the future for us. It would be more of a show this style. It's it's an adult show. It's talking about adult stuff, and
And every year, the people listening to podcasts goes up and up.
Yeah.
So you just got to watch those trends and know that that's the future. Do you want to be around in the future, or do you want to be a dinosaur and go extinct?
Right. Exactly. Megan was asking about what about War of the Roses? Yeah, it's
don't give me, please.
It's a state to state thing, and so I don't know what everybody does with their own guidelines on it. I know for us, yeah, we've had to do, if we do anything close to that, we have to do variations of that. But yeah, we could not. If you never heard the bit, it's somebody tricks somebody into.
Oh wait, what? Let me give the flowers to my lover. Yeah, give it to her.
Getting flowers, and then they put them on, and then they have a fight and things like that.
This bit's been around since 1996. I can't believe I'm getting tricked.
Then they're surprised that they're on the radio. Yeah, see, and that's the thing that we can't do here in Florida.
You can tape the call and then ask permission.
No, you can't.
No, you can't.
Can't you?
Nope.
No. It's a good thing you're not running things, Virginia.
Yeah, thank God.
Well, then how? All right, never mind.
Yeah, well, and I will let you know, there are times that
Because we did that.
Yeah,
I know.
but that's what I'm saying. We don't do it that often anymore.
It's very rare, and we skirt. Like, for instance, you ever notice if we do a call like that, we will prank a bar in Ireland?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, they gotta find out.
Or a diner in Idaho somewhere.
Yeah. So if we do anything like that, it's just kind of like, all right, let's roll the dice on this one. If you feel like it's worth it, there's no way they'd find out it's a 2-bit radio show in Florida. But that's why we do it less and less, because
It's not worth the risk.
Exactly. Yeah.
It ain't that
It is a
funny.
gamble, right? And that's why we don't do that.
It's much more fun to prank your own family.
I'm
here for that.
Completely agree.
All day.
Yeah.
Well, some of never mind. I don't want to say anything.
Yeah, and so that's we've had to just change the style on how we do it. You have to work around all the guidelines that are now out there and how things operate today. So you still try to do it, and you still, we try to do stuff. Denny's high or not, and things like that. That hey, we have control over it, and we can do that kind of stuff. And
fucking with ourselves.
Yes,
world record week.
That's more what it is. And we used to have listeners in doing crazy things, and then
can't do that.
No, you cannot have a listener ingest anything after they had that one listener die of water toxicity or whatever it was. So
I mean, there's things we can do, but
Yeah.
it does get dicey.
It's changed, but that's all happened in the course that we signed on as the KVJ show, where things like that has happened and major lawsuits, and people are out of the industry now because of that stuff. So. But all good questions, and happy to answer them. If you ever have one for us, you can let us know. Mail at kvjshow.com, mail at kvjshow.com, and we'll get all the answers that we can on for you. All righty, that's going to do it for us here for Wednesday. Can you believe only 2 more days left in the week? We'll get back at it tomorrow. I know, right? And then the replay tonight on the radio, 6 o'clock, KVJ replay on WRMF. Check it out.
Just to let people know, programming note, no weird whatever this week.
Okay.
There's too much stuff going on.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So listen to us live starting tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Be back then. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.